Mr. Brett Akey. How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. How's the show been going? You guys been selling a lot of chrome?
Show's excellent.
Yeah.
Show's excellent. Anytime you get a group of trucks in one field, it's a good day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So we already talked to your manager, Larry. Apparently, he does not know as much as he should. I'm going to start working from the bottom up. When I go to Chrome Supply, if I need information, I'm going to go to the social media person first and work up to you because you don't know anything either, right? Other than you're having an event on August 24th, right?
Well, again, anywhere there's trucks in one area, it's a good time. Yeah, doesn't matter how it happens. Just let them know what's happening, and they'll come.
So you're doing kind of like just the old stories, kind of like when you and I go into the Chrome shop together and never come out for 2-3 hours, right?
Exactly, and it's that. Honestly, it's that stuff that makes a good time. It's all the old stories, and then you get some of these younger ones that are in that they've got their own stories to tell that are as big and as bright as what ours might be. But when we were doing it, it was, nobody had done it.
No, and there was no video, so we actually got better. Yeah. The stories got better as you go along, right?
No proof. That's right.
All right, so you are now representing Mr. Tony Justice. Is there anything else new? We're going to talk about Tony in a minute, but is there anything else new going on in the Chrome shop? Who else you got in there? What other parts you got?
Tony is just a phenomenal artist. I mean, he's highly involved. I honestly can say I've never seen a man that has so many things on the go. Yeah. Have the talent he has and still be able to spread himself out over all of the venues, the truckernation.org and never mind, like, put the talent and the singing over here that would be, more than a full-time job, but then he's trucking, full-time. He's involved in so many different good causes and charity events, and he's splitting his time up here. Plus he has his own family, so I look at some of his schedule and I don't know how he does it, because he's only one person. The talent himself, he's got his heart as big as he is. His talent is endless. I just love his work, and we collectively believe in everything that he believes in when it comes to the charities and when it comes to the trucking and when it comes to giving back to the community, and I think that's what it's all about. And I think the world of him. And all that said, his ability and his talent as a singer is, we're truck drivers, Bruce, right? And so we know his music, it's gone right back to the Red Solvines and the Dave Dudleys, and he's drawing all of that stuff back in, and it's giving an opportunity for the young folks who don't even know who they are to get the modern taste of it, right? So
you had a funny story because and we'll talk about the donation thing that you guys are doing, but you tell us about the time when Tony's contacted you to represent him in your store without swearing, because this is a clean podcast. But
he actually doesn't even know this story, so this will be a good kick. I didn't actually answer the phone. I think it was Larry that answered the phone, and they yelled in, the phone's for you, and I picked up the phone, and he's like, "Is this Brett?" Of course, I can't do the southern accent. "Is this Brett?" "Yep." He says, "This is Tony Justice." And I paused and I went, "Okay." Then I was waiting for a punchline, and he says, "No, man, it's Tony." And I'm like, "How you doing?" He's like, "I'm doing good." And then as he started to talk, I realized that in fact that's who it was. And I was like, he says, "I hear you got quite the place up there in Canada." He says, "I've had some friends up there and they've been in and they said, it's quite the place." And we talked for quite a while, and through talking to him, I learned a lot about him. He's a very Christian man, and he loves trucking. He is a driver. He's all about God and family, and he is just so down to earth. I was actually very humbled to not only get a call from him, but to think that he'd want us to be involved in something that he does, and so absolutely took that opportunity. He's a phenomenal guy, and the more that we can be around those type of people, the better. He makes people like us better.
That's right.
And he's had a lot of things that have gone on for him, and he gets it. How many times have we been gone and one of your kids are sick and you're 2,000 miles away, or your wife's sick and you're gone somewhere and you can't get home right away, and he understands all that. And if anybody that gets a chance to listen to his music, you'll hear it. You'll hear everything that you actually go through in the music.
So you're representing him now. You sell his CDs through your store in Belleville, Ontario, and you've done taken it a step further. You've taken that, and you've now are helping out Trucking for a Cure. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we did, and actually Tony doesn't even know that we did that, but we did want to partner with Tony on the music side of things, but we collectively as a team decided that we also believe in giving back to the community, and there's so many different charities that you can spread things around to, and obviously there's always ones that are close to your heart. But for us, one of the better ways for us to do that was to not only offer the CDs to the driving public, but to also, try and draw that charity, the donations, and the generosity of the people, if we can help in that generosity. And so what we decided to do was, at the time that we started to acquire some of Tony's work, he has 4 CDs out. He's got another one out now. And so we decided that that would be our part to give back. And with Joanne McKenzie, obviously, the big Trucking for a Cure presence, is to give those CDs and say, listen, we're giving 100% back of any proceeds of the CDs we sell in store. Everything, 100%, and then some actually, is going back to charity. Yeah. So Tony doesn't know that either. In this instance with Trucking for a Cure, Tony can relate very well to the Trucking for a Cure, so can we. Lots of people can. And we decided that we would give Joanne X number of CDs, and anybody that decided to donate this weekend at the truck show and in coming events for Joanne, give them a CD. And Joanne said, well, what do you want to put that number at? You put the number to what you want it to be. Anything is going to help the cause. If it's $10, if it's $5, if it's $20, it's all going to help to get to that goal, to hopefully find a cure one day. And so, this isn't anything big for us. It's not anything that recognition is called for. We love Tony. We love his work. We are like-minded people with Tony and with what he believes in. And all of that said, if it can help the Trucking for a Cure, that's what it's all about.
Well, thank you very much for doing what you do, because that's amazing. It's all of us doing those grassroots kind of things that gets things done right and keeps us all connected, and that's why we all love this industry, right?
Well, and it's no different than with what you do, though, Bruce, honestly, and we've talked about that so many times, is where if there wasn't somebody doing that, how does it get out?
That's right, yeah.
How does it get out? It doesn't get out, and so, it's very, very important, and it takes all the moving parts to make people better, and to find the cures, and to find all of these things. And the Special Olympics convoy is another one that is close to my heart. As you know, I was trucking when the very first one happened in Florida, and I was fortunate enough to take part and lay over for the weekend and be part of that. And I'll tell you, when you pull into the fairgrounds and these kids are holding these signs up, I don't care how big you are, how tough you are, if you don't shed a tear seeing these kids, you're not human.
It's great. It's great. We've been part of the Paris one as well, and that one goes in September, right the weekend before Trucking for a Cure. So we love all of those events. I know that you love all those, and thanks very much for sponsoring, and thanks for being part of that whole community. It's awesome.
Well, we couldn't be happier to do it, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Good job, man. Always a good job.